How is your spirit? I'm back. Let me go outside because I'm not supposed to do this at all, but I definitely do it in my room. Oops, forgive me. That wasn't what I meant to do. This is so that I can see all of your messages. Okay. First of all, you can see my glasses are a bit foggy and a little bit oily. That's because I had to come in and take a shower as soon as I got back. But what happened is I recently changed my data plan and I kind of forgot to take my Wi-Fi box with, so my internet went out while I was out. Okay, so I apologize to everybody who was in the previous live stream. YouTube is gonna do its thing. It's gonna have to close it. Usually once I start a new live, it fixes it. Thank you, Sister Enage. Welcome back, y'all. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for hitting that like. Make sure you share with your community. When we talk about energy conservation, honey, I remember to keep this little thing on me now that I have switched. So because I do live streams, I find that it's easier to go ahead and pay for like the to-go Wi-Fi box and then just pay for a regular internet service that comes with a little bit of data. But I forgot that I was close to my data, and so I was out. It ended. I didn't even go try to blame it on the government. It was literally just me. So, but as I was saying, forgive me, I've been attached to the military for at least 40 years of the 48 years that I've been on this planet. And it makes a huge difference in the way that I move. If you've ever even been in a government facility, you'll always see near a light switch something that says conserve energy, turn off the lights, or something along those lines. And as I was saying before, I realized that in this place, most of these people don't have self-discipline, so they don't, that's what they're here for, to learn discipline, so to speak. Do whatever means possible, not internet that I can see. Thank you, Matriarch. Yes, I am going to remember to keep my box on. Pause, my Wi-Fi transmitter, whatever, close by. Shout out to Dunkin' Donuts. This little coffee cake muffin, bruh, one of these every day. I don't know what it is. I do really appreciate coffee in my life, though. Not even gonna lie to you, it's fantastic. It's an energy boost. When, again, as we were talking about before, I know, right? March pause. When we were talking about before conserving energy or, calculating your spoons. Even inside of a marriage or a relationship, because that's your spouse, your partner, your significant other. They are certainly entitled to some portion of your time because you chose them and they chose you. So before you go giving it freely to everybody else, you got to decide which time is theirs and set it aside. So as we were saying in the beginning, if you are counting your spoons to brush your teeth, to take a shower, to cook dinner, to do anything, how much of that time are you giving to your partner? Now, these are great places to multitask, especially in the shower. We're gonna go ahead and call this the second hour, Sister Green H. Save water, relate in the shower. So there's a good use of multitasking in YouTube. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. It is Sunday, so I'm gonna try to behave. But where can you combine tasks, be more efficient in the energy that you emit, especially when you have someone or something that you know requires your time, is actually entitled to it because you chose that thing. So work is a great example. You choose to go to work. Don't get me wrong. We do live in a world where you have to have means, where you have to be able to pay for certain things. And at the end of the day, you are choosing your job, your career path, where you go to work. So I saw this young man who, by the way, young man, don't you ever, ever, ever get on camera and say, I hate my job, and think you still gonna have that job. Because your boss is gonna be like, oh, if you hate it here, just go on ahead. We're gonna honor your decision to not work here no more. Especially if you live in a right to work state. So you're gonna wanna chill out on that shit, young people. Okay? I don't know what's gotten into y'all where y'all just overshare every fucking thing, but if you don't like your job, write it down in a journal. And then start manifesting a new damn job. But if you get on the internet and say, I hate my job, I think you're still gonna have that motherfucker. If you got mouths to feed, you really gotta be careful. Overexpending energy, okay? You choose your job. You choose your career path. You're the one who is going to apply for a position. You're the one who is going to seek out how you make your money. So if you don't like it, it's up to you to change it. There are multiple ways that you can do that. Yet, blathering to the world how you don't like what you have chosen, that's a you problem, not a world problem. Not even your boss's problem. So figure out what you're gonna do. Conserve your energy, shut your mouth, do your job, and work on finding another one. That's it, that's all. And leave on good terms so that the other one will take you. And just as another side note, and yes, I know that this is scrambling a bit, it's because I'm on this thing instead of the phone's Wi-Fi. But anyway, when you leave one job to go to another, when you go to your interview, don't run your mouth about the previous job. Don't talk about how much you hate it. Don't talk about how much you dislike it. Don't talk about, oh, how terrible it was. None of those things. The same is true of a relationship, right? If you have left a relationship and you've healed, you're less likely to do this. However, don't constantly speak negatively about the environment that you came from, because it really reflects on you more than it does the environment that you came from. So you really want to watch your P's and Q's about talking about others when it comes to disrespecting others, disrespecting the job, or any of things. Right? That's all wasted energy. And at some point, not that this is a thing, so to speak, but it's bad energy. It sets up a vibe of negativity around you. Not the job or the person you left or any of those things. Now, I tell you my story and I tell you my truth. That includes having been harmed by a certain number of people. Yet once it's spoken, unless it's just part of the conversation, I am not bashing anybody, because we're all human. We all go through different things, life experiences, so on and so forth, right? People can grow or they can't. That's not up to me. That's up to them and their creator, the Most High. Now, back to energy conservation though. We've talked about spoons and calculating your spoons, the number of spoons you need in order to get through your day, right? Okay, March Harris, I'll be here for a few minutes, but I am going to go lay down. It's been a long morning already. My day usually starts around 5 o'clock with me waking up and determining what I'm going to do with my day. I pray first. And then I ask God, what is it that you want from me? And believe it or not, y'all, I asked Spirit what clothes I should put on. You heard me earlier say thank you to Spirit for helping me to find a word that I couldn't. He said random spoons. What movie is that from? It was a TV show, one of the two. But anyway, I asked Spirit and the Most High to guide me throughout my day. I make decisions based on my intuition and what I hear them say. And that takes a certain level of patience, of quietness. We talked about silence in the previous one. Thank you, March. It was Martin. Okay. To be able to be quiet and be still, to be able to hear God and Spirit You can't be huffing and puffing and grumbling and growling all day. It's we talked about spiritual spam. It's that stuff that gets in the way. And there's enough stuff in the atmosphere that's already difficult to communicate with your angels and the Most High and your ancestors and so on. So you've got to do the work of being quiet, of being still. Literally, I was like, all right, God, what do I do today? He was like, just be. Change is coming. So today, just be. And that's pretty much what I've done. I meant getting up this morning and immediately putting my headphones in so that others would understand I am not interested in communicating without me having to expend the extra energy of saying, I am not interested in engaging in communication with you, no matter how much you may believe you are entitled to it. I just saw 11:11. Your angels are watching. Now's a good time to speak to them. Tell them what you need. Ask them to guide you, to order your steps and light your path. If nothing else, do that every day. And stay out of God's way. Let him handle that big cookie shit. You focus on the little things and enjoy the journey. Like me. And honestly, this morning Spirit told me that I should have put on what I have on now, which is this t-shirt and shorts, before I went to the store. But I love that little pink, it's not little, the long pink dress and my gummy bear socks. Plus, it is a recent memory for me, or it reminds me of something important to me. And if you know anything about the spectrum, then you understand that out of sight, out of mind is really a thing when it comes to autism. So if I don't see you on a regular basis, there's a good chance that I'm going to forget you. And let's just say that the dress reminds me of someone that I don't want to forget. I'll leave it at that. But I conserve my energy and I listen to my Creator in all things. Shout out to cruise season, because he was like, you got to choose your battles. I'll say this. I am appreciative of this gentleman because I value his counsel. I may not always agree, but he's always going to give me something to consider. It's not 1313. Anyway, before I make a move. Or sometimes even after. He sees things that I may not have seen. Things that I might think are innocent. He can see the hidden meaning in certain things that I may not. I am blessed to have maintained a certain level of inner innocence despite the things that have happened to me. It's very important to me that I keep that. So early on, I made the decision in my life at 16 that I was going to be a younger mother, i.e. at 19, I was pregnant, 20, I gave birth to my first child, I was married. But I wanted to be a younger parent because I wanted to be able to understand my children's journey. And the further away you get from your childhood, the more difficult that becomes. Is there something in my, I think there's something in my, there. Sorry, y'all. Y'all be okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's that. So anyway, so I chose to become a mother at a younger age, right, March, to protect my inner child by protecting my children's innocence as well. So, and in my 40s, I still have the ability to be childlike rather than childish, if that makes sense. I see the beauty of the world in the little things, the way that children do. Yet I'm not childish. I am no fool. Um, the same things that will make a child stop and get excited. For example, I saw a rainbow the other day and I couldn't help myself. I yelled, "Rainbow!" And I just stopped and stared and looked at it. I can find that beauty anywhere. The way that a child can be fully engaged with a box, just a regular old cardboard box. They'll figure out how to make magic out of that. I still have that inside of me. Yet I fully recognize the adultness of the world around me. And I protected my children's innocence for as long as I possibly could. Like I said in the earlier stream, that meant I had to sit in the hot seat. I understood that marrying at an early age, I might be marrying someone who had their own demons. And Lord knows this man has his own demons. And that was before our deployments and whatnot. And he came back as someone entirely different. He had his own demons, put his hands on me. I understood that could come with being married at a young age. I understood that cheating could come with being married at a young age. I understood that the only way to be able to break these cycles of abuse and generational curses was for me to stay steadfast. There's that song again. Be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the word of the Lord. I called on God as often as I could. When I decided to leave my husband and go to culinary school, it was God that I spoke to first. I was like, Lord, if this is not going to end the way that it's supposed to, with me being with this man for the rest of my life and creating all of the things that I had dreamed about, then just give me a sign. Tell me what to do. Before you knew it, there was a pamphlet to the Art Institute, Raleigh Durham, at my door. I went to culinary school. I made a way for me to be prosperous without him, to provide for myself and my children without depending on him. Because I knew the man that he would become. That's that gift of sight that God has given me. And I told him such. I said, one day you're going to get new pussy, right? And you're going to forget this family. In fact, you're going to come to resent us, and you're going to do dastardly things like take her children on college tours and never show up for your own. You're going to forget that you promised to pay child support and alimony because new pussy got in the way. I remember being in culinary school, probably about 2011, 2012, when I wrote a poem titled just that, N-E-W-P-U-S-S-Y. And I said it in that poem. These are the things that are going to come true because you don't know how to move. So here we are, a decade or so later, and you are experiencing the outcome of the choices that you made. My soon-to-be ex-husband, that is. The outcome of the things that I said a decade ago. You said I was wrong, and yet here you are, proving me right, time and time again. I am thankful to the Father for the gift of sight, because I knew how to move. I knew how to get out of the way. Even when I tried to protect my interests and that of my children, that man was still going to find a way. I understood that too. I didn't see this part coming, right? Being homeless, having to depend so much on the good graces of others. Yet I do know, or I did know even then, that my karmic bank account was in the high positives. Do you understand what I'm saying? I had done some things when I was younger, and I can admit to those things today. I had admitted to those things back then when I got married. I was like, my karma is going to be for this man to cheat on me because the very first man that I had relations with was a married man. Now, I didn't know that right away, but I did know, and I continued to relate. I even went through a part of my life where I was like, I'm gonna do you before you do me. So I had to get some karma for that. Yet I never lived my life with the idea that I am going to do good to other people so I can build up my karmic bank account. I did good for others because it was the right thing to do. My husband would go on deployments, and there would be these young soldiers who didn't have family members who could send things downrange to them. So when I sent him goodie boxes, I sent goodies for others as well. I am a disability advocate because I understood that there would come a time when my children wouldn't be in my presence. And I pray that there's someone as positive and caring as I am close to them to offer them these things. So I put it out into the world so that it already exists and there's a model for someone to go forward. Again, not because I was trying to build up my karma with God. Me and God been walking this walk since I was a little girl, right? But people need to see. I said this before. When you are an actual leader, you can lead from anywhere, behind, the side, the front, whatever it is. You can lead silently. You can lead out loud. It is an innate gift that God has given you to lead a people. March Harris says people don't see their choices before they reap what they sow. Oh, amen, March. You're bringing Sister Ine forward. She here. You know, waiting for me to overshare something else.
I'll be down in your room in a minute. What?
So I share freely, Sister Cola said in the last message, the things that I experience now in real time, so to speak, because it gives you an opportunity to see choices and outcomes and make better decisions or different decisions, go a different way, to know that it's okay to walk a different path and be positive in that, to stand firm, steadfast, and strong in that, despite what other people think. It would be easy, and she said, she's here, she got it. It would be easy and fully acceptable for me to do nothing, to be still, to lay down and not say anything or do anything. And people would accept that because of the host of things that I've discussed with you that I have lived with and experienced. Yet I still get up and fight each day. I still choose to go my own way, to be the example of what someone, Spirit says the example of femininity. I still struggle with that a little bit. Yet I do recognize that I am the example of femininity for my sons, so that when they go out and they seek a good woman, they will know what a good woman is. They will not use her up and throw her away. They will hang on to her. And they will wait to marry until they meet a good woman. One who pours into them regularly. One who is attentive without being attention seeking. One who is patient. One who is peaceful. One who desires to give pleasure as much as she does to receive. And I don't just mean like the physical aspect, but like, oh no, you guys are soaking wet. Come on. Y'all had a good time, I see.
That's wet.
I might be jealous. One who can share a smile without it meaning anything more than just a smile. One who sees the beauty in who she is and sharing that with no one but you. My youngest says that he's looking for a crazy woman because he's used to my crazy. But what he means to say is he's experienced a certain level of respect, of attention, appreciation, command uh, of oneself and one's circumstances. That he recognizes what it takes to be a mother, a wife, a lover, a friend. And he will seek that out for anything. He won't just take any woman to wife. You know what I mean? I agree with you, Mark Harris. It is becoming more and more rare, and it's one of the things that I understand, that I recognize truly. Like but don't understand is what I mean to say. Uh, Women today are exceptionally loud and seek attention. Like this morning, I went to breakfast and I just sat at an empty table. And someone came and sat. Now there were three other empty tables in front of me and empty. She come and sat exactly where I am, and you're loud and boisterous, and you put your stroller in the way. It's because you need to be seen. I just needed to eat. I knew I didn't want to be at a table full of people, so I sat at an empty table, an empty seat. I will force you to shut the fuck up. I put my headphones in, turn the music up. You can recognize that I can't hear you. So much so because you could hear the music coming out of my headphones. The next four people that sat down, quiet as church was. Why? Because I sat there quietly. I did not give anyone my attention. My undivided attention was on my meal and my own personal needs. More women need to learn to do that. Focus your energy inwards on what you need, on your goals, on your personal experiences. Not trying to find the next BDE. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it for a minute and then we're going to get out of here. I literally listened to a woman the other day describe a man as a stud. She said, I found my stud and pointed to a gentleman across the way. I was like, are you a brood mare? What the fuck shit is? How do you define a man as a stud? Like a horse? Like, this gentleman has several defining attributes about him. Multiple tattoos, a disability that one can actually see. I'm not going to describe it because then that would be over describing this gentleman. A very nice set of masculine features. There were a host of things that you could have used to describe this gentleman, and yet you chose stud. Like a piece of horse flesh, meat, nothing more, nothing less. That is disgusting. Women spend all of their time talking about how men are gross because they only see us as something to, relate. But then those are the words that comes out of a woman's mouth. Sexual harassment. Third party, in this case, still sexual harassment. Have a blessed one, March Harris. Thank you so much for stopping through. And as always, only allies apply. I am not looking for friends out here. I got one, maybe two. That's all I need. So, y'all should think about it. The same things that we hold men accountable for, a woman will turn around and do and not see the hypocrisy. It's strange. When I see gentlemen, I've told you this before, although I have pulled back from it um, and out of respect for a request, right? When I see gentlemen and you have cleaned yourself up for the day, you get on a nice hat that matches your shoes, you ironed your shirt and your pants, and you smell good, I'm going to tell you. Because there are not enough people in the world who compliment men for making the effort. We talk about how boys stink and this, that, and the third, and men are this, that, and the other. So why not compliment the men who show up in the world? Why not give them encouragement to keep going, to educate others, other men that is, to what it is to walk in masculinity? Welcome back, Sister Cola. Yeah, I'm just on for a bit. It was my fault. I didn't have my internet device with me, so eventually I ran out of data, which is a whole other energy conservation piece. Which, okay, one more thing, I promise. Information conservation is crucial today. We always know that Big Brother is watching. It's just the truth of the matter. And this space specifically, there's a camera right above me, so 360. Anyway, information conservation. Stop oversharing your life story. I share my story with you to help you understand that all these things happen to me without me telling too many people, in some cases, anybody, because it was a form of protection. I'm sharing it with you today so that you can protect yourself from the demons that I had to battle as you go on your own journey. Still, though, you listen carefully. I am not oversharing with you the things that I am experiencing that are most valuable to me. It's a general information conversation with some examples to show you how you can move differently. But these folks in here suffering in silence, these folks in here out in the world, they will just verbally vomit everything. Everything. My mama was a this, my daddy was a that. Like, I mean, it never stops. To the point where, again, I say they commiserate. Right, Sister Cola, just enough to help without hindering my journey or someone else's. I listen in this space. And it's just a constant spillage of information and energy. Whether, in some cases, whether or not there's anyone to receive it. Some people are just literally just talking to be talking. And then you look at them like, who are you talking to? And they are unsure. So they look at you like, who should I be talking to? That is a sign of a mental illness. You need to really go and work that out with a therapist. Okay, so here's the homework for today. Actively engage in energy conservation. Actively engage in disengaging from those who are not deserving of your energy, of your time, of your spoons. If you've got 24 hours in a day, and maybe do this journaling, I did this some years ago, but maybe do this work. Take a piece of paper and write down, 0 to 24, your hours in the day. Then write down the things you already know you must do in a day. Brush your teeth, shower, shave if you have to, cooking, cleaning, exercise, right? That's what, 5 things automatically. And just presume for the moment that those are going to take you 5 hours, okay? Figure out what to do with the rest of your time. One of my favorite ways of kind of going about this when we're talking about money conservation, but it works in this case as well. There's an episode of The Cosby Show where Mr. Cosby has Theo, and they're going over the amount of money that he's going to make at his new job. And he's like, okay, well, do you want to eat? Well, do you want to do this? And then eventually, like, do you want to have a girlfriend? He takes the rest of his money away from him. They do the Monopoly money thing. Do that with your life. One day. And see where you can shave away some time from things that aren't serving you and pour into yourself. Where you can shave away some time from people who aren't necessary to give to the ones who are there for you. Sister Cole says, that's why I only go live when I'm led to say something. Exactly. Definitely can't do it for content. It would be too dry. Exactly. You know, here's the thing. I originally started out with a group of folks who started under the lead attorney. I did not start as one of the people in his little mastermind group because I was like, bro, there ain't nothing that you can't teach me that I can't figure out myself. And really, I know more than you do already. Which is why that little group and him and a whole bunch of other content creators ended up stealing my intellectual property, copying the things that I did. And I've already spoken about this, so I'm really not going to go through a whole lot. But I will say, even to Real Long, honey, if you got advice from him on how to run your live streams, you actually got it from me. But let's just move on. And the reason why I bring it up is because y'all ain't done nothing new under the sun in a long time. But in the beginning, it was very much consistency. And that's still true. You need to be consistent in who you are, though. When you live stream, you can show up every day at the same time. You can do that thing. But where does your growth come from? If you have to use the names of celebrities, if you have to go chase down salacious interactions in order to build your channel, well, okay. Do you, boo-boo. I'm not gonna stop you. The world is getting tired of that shit, though, honestly. It's enough of it going on in a day, and some of you are going about it in the dastardly way. I remember telling a newer content creator, be careful, because they'll do things. If you won't follow them, then they will make sure that their entire group of people doesn't follow you. They'll do it behind the scenes. They'll whisper, they'll talk about you. They're never brave enough to come to you and tell you anything about you. That's not how these people move. They're dirty, they're underhanded, they're scheming, they're conniving. No matter how nicely they show up in your live stream, even on your panel from time to time, where you go back and look at my channel in its entirety, you would see a lot of Black YouTube was in my chat or on my panel or somehow affiliated with my channel, and yet we don't move that way anymore. Why? Because they sold out. Dollars. They sold out. They sold out their community. They sold out their allegiances. They sold out they sold their soul for pittance. Some people got $6,000. Some people got 30. Some people got more than that and then bought subscribers and then bought views and then bought other things. All they are is fake. And you can see it in the fact that they pretty much have the same number of views all the time, right? No matter their content, it's because they're paying for those views. They're paying for their subscriber base. They pay for people to comment even and destroy me simultaneously. And many of those people don't even know why they're doing it anymore. For what? Truly, for what? Fame, glory, self-esteem. It's esteem of your motherfucking self. Until such time, thank you, Cat Williams, until such time as you can stand on your own 2 feet, carry your entire stream by yourself, provide wealth of knowledge, wisdom to the community. Well, baby, you'll remain nothing, especially to me. Oh, yeah, Cola girl. See, you had to be here in the early days. 2020, 2021, when lots of when all them people was selling them courses on how you could be a great YouTuber, when they were selling the Content Creator Academy and so on and so forth, and all they sold you was a bunch of BS. Get into a fight with someone bigger than you, talk shit about the Black community. That's how you gonna make your money. That backfired. It is still boomeranging around their necks, and it will continue to do so. Had nothing to do with me. I simply spoke truth then and now and always. I wouldn't sell out my community for the manosphere, the womanosphere, or for shits and giggles, that matter. That's why I'm still here. I haven't had a channel name change. I haven't lifted my foot off of the gas, and I damn sure ain't gonna lift it off the necks of motherfuckers who try to destroy Black legacy to meet their own needs. They're just as disappointing to me as a man I've been married to for 28 years. My spiritual team ain't let up off of him yet, so why should I? You know what, Sister Cola, we spoke some time ago about when you come into this space, just be who you are. They're going to challenge you at every turn to try to make you disassociate from the things that are important to you. I told people being here, the Gospel Rescue Mission, was my opportunity to stand on my principles. All those principles that I put up on Buy Me a Coffee, all the things that I write about, all the things that I talk about. I was doing that from the comfort of my home, right? From, just being on the internet. So there had to come a time when the Most High would put me out in the world and see if I could stay steadfast on what it is that I believe in. Could I meet people with different perspectives and points of views and ideas of what the world should be or could be, and maintain me, my identity? How I show up in the world is how I show up on each live stream. How I show up on each live stream is how I show up in the community. I don't deviate from the greatness that the Most High has put into me. There are people who have actually told me that they are envious of my gifts. They wish that they had certain things. So then they go in the dark, behind the scenes, and they try to unravel me, try to steal the gifts that God has given to me, try to blind me or bind me so that I cannot see what it is that they've been doing. That's a mistake on their part. not on mine. Even when you think that I don't see, you're mistaken. I just don't share. So again, back to information conservation. Get to the point where you don't have to write it down and you don't have to say it. Get to the point where you can recognize the importance or gravity in a situation and not have to spill over to others. That is going to be your greatest gift. Your ability to move in silence, not secrecy. Silence. To be still, to gather information, and to move accordingly. That means sometimes not writing anything down, not sharing in a live stream, not sharing your dreams with anybody. Okay, I know I said one last thing like 3 times. This is the last time. I promise we're going to get out of here. I don't engage in girl code, boy code, those things. I do not get into a gaggle of geese and start running off at the mouth. I try not to engage in gossip. I mean, I'm going to ask you this question. And for those of you watching on the replay, please leave it in the comments. If the President of the United States was seen gossiping with just a group of random chicks, how much faith would you have in their ability to lead you? How much faith would you have in their allegiance to you as a person or a people? If you hear them oversharing other people's stories. So I don't engage. I do my best not to. Sometimes you can't help but be in a space. But even when you're in that space, you don't have to share, right? And you don't have to engage. If you have to put on your imaginary headphones, then do that. You don't have to engage in the disregard for other people and their story. We all want to be appreciated for who we are and what we bring to the world. And if you are actively engaging in disrespecting or downplaying another story, then how will people treat you in your story, your journey? Something to consider. Thank you, Sister Cola. God, y'all, my nose is itchy. Confirmation for somebody. But I will say this. Move in silence, not in secrecy. Keep people's confidence. Don't keep people's secrets. There are things much greater in the world that you do need to keep secret. You cannot be holding on to other people's minuscule secrets when it could be national security that you're hanging on to. You know what I mean? So move in silence. Conserve your energy. Move with a purpose. Be efficient in all things. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me and dealing with my little Wi-Fi issue. You are an amazing community, and I am so thankful that you choose me to listen to. Thank you for sharing my content with others. Thank you for being willing to help me in my time of need. No matter what anyone says, You're an amazing group of people. I agree with you, Sister Cola. She says, and speaking your truth is not oversharing. It's oversharing to those that want to stonewall you from speaking because they don't want their image tarnished by facts. I think that's a good note to leave on. You guys, keep your spirit up. We'll see you in the streams. Remember, God loves you. I do. So love yourself enough to conserve your energy and only pour into those who pour into you. We out. Hey, hit the like button and share. Bye.